return of Jason Tatum to Madison Square Garden. Tatum just so smooth. Trading baskets back and forth. Knicks trying to go back in front. Brunson, it rims in. Kicks, Shireman, hot hand. Yes, sir! He can't be stopped. 20 seconds left. One possession game. A dagger three from Josh Hart. The Knicks get a gutty win.
Good morning and welcome to First Take. Packed house here today in studio. David Dennis Jr., Vince Goodwill, Courtney Cronin with you here on this Friday. Big Kendrick Perkins here with us as well. Mike Tannenbaum, Kevin Clark going to join us here in just a little bit. I guess you guys didn't get the memo of dressing like a caddy down in Augusta. I'm the only one.
Oh, okay.
That's what that is? That's the motif?
Okay.
I wasn't trying for it, but it is how this has worked out this morning. So we're going to rock it. I like it. Let's start in the NBA because there was a big one up on 7th Avenue last night. The Knicks getting a crucial win against the Celtics at Madison Square Garden, keeping their one-game lead for the 3 seed alive right now over the Cavs. Jalen Brunson led the way for New York with 25 points and 10 assists, while Josh Hart had 15 of his 26 points in the fourth quarter. Hart and Coach Mike Brown talked about the important win post-game.
You know, the first half I was ass. So I had, the second half I knew I had to bring it.
We're heading in the direction of being where we need to be. I like the climb that we've made the last week or so, the last 3 to 4 games, and we got a couple more games to get there. And for us, we'll take it one game at a time. But we got these 2 left. We'd like to win both of them. What does that mean? I don't know. We'll see at the end of the day. But when we lace them up, we're playing to win.
No mincing of words there from Josh Hart. 26 points, 3 assists. That's what he finished with. And the Knicks now 52 wins on the season. They're most in a season since 2012-13. And those 52 victories for head coach Mike Brown are the most by a Knicks coach in his first season with the franchise, which passes now the record set by Pat Riley during the 1991-1992 season. So some context here. Obviously, no Jaylen Brown in the lineup yesterday for the Boston Celtics. Baylor Shireman, 20 points coming off the bench. But let's look at this win holistically, Perk. How much stock are you putting in this win for New York last night?
For as what, Courtney? For as them matching up with the Celtics in the playoffs and beating them? I ain't putting that much stock in them at all. Listen, was this win important for the New York Knicks? Absolutely. Did this mean anything for the Boston Celtics? Did they leave out of Madison Square Garden lacking confidence or saying that they still can't reach that goal or they shouldn't be the favorites to come out of these? Hell no. Listen, the New York Knicks don't scare a soul, not even on Halloween. And here's the thing that I'm going to tell you. I understand that Jason Tatum, he didn't have a great night shooting-wise, but he didn't come back this season to be Batman. He came back this season to be Robin and even sometimes Alfred, depending on what Peyton Pritchard and Derek White is doing throughout the course of the game. So am I putting a lot of stock into this? Am I going to flip the script and say, oh, now the Knicks are the favorite to win the East? Hell no. It is still the Boston Celtics. The Celtics still have the most championship experience out of anybody in the Eastern Conference. They have a head coach, Joe Mazzulla, who has taken them to the promised land, and they have guys that know how to be stars in their role. So I'm not going to overreact and flip the script. Was it a great win, a good, solid win for the Knicks? Absolutely. But I still got the Celtics as the favorite.
Okay. I think that's understandable. I mean, it is interesting, David, because Perk brings up Jason Tatum comes back after that Achilles injury. We've seen him now for just over a month. That was early March. 16 double-doubles. 16 games. That's like 10 times that's happened now in 16 games. So it is pretty remarkable to see the impact that he's made so far. But as you look at this from the Knicks side, do you put much stock into what New York did on Thursday night?
Yeah, I put a lot of stock in what New York did, and part of it is the process and how they're winning these games, not just this game against the Celtics, but also the game prior against the Hawks. We got to give Mike Brown a little bit of credit here. Perk, there was a great game that we saw last night. I know you're over there, you got your eyes closed and everything. You seem like you're in a bad mood this morning. I know you didn't take your vitamins or something. That was a great game and a great win for the Knicks. in large part because of how they are winning these games. We got to give Mike Brown some credit here because he has figured out something with this two-man game with Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. They're getting Josh Hart some of these wide-open shots, and Brunson is closing out some real playoff-level games. He had 17 in the fourth against Atlanta, and then he had 5 assists last night. They are orchestrating an offense, and these are playoff-level wins from a Knicks team that for the last few weeks, what have we been saying? They've been folding up under pressure, especially when they play some of these good teams. Look, I know Jaylen Brown was not out there, but what we saw was a Knicks team that when the going got tough, when it got to clutch time, they said, we have a go-to play or a couple of go-to plays and some go-to sets to get us to win these games. And there is a chess match that is going to happen between them and the Celtics. I still think the Celtics are probably favorite against this Knicks team. But if you're the Knicks, you do not fear this Celtics team in the way that other people think they should. They beat the Celtics team in the playoffs last year when everybody thought the Celtics were going to win. And if you're the Knicks, you've got to have that same confidence going to the playoffs this year.
That's my thing. We treat the Knicks as if they lost to the Celtics last year. And so much of the conversation surrounding the Celtics was skewed because of how we felt about Jason Tatum.
Sure.
And him getting hurt in Game 4 of that series and what that looked like and how it turned into gap year and they talked about the future. But let's be honest here. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown did not cover themselves in glory in how they played in that series before the injury. They were shooting 40% from the field. They did not handle the pressure of the Knicks wings as well as they should have. Those are the same wings that are there this year. And I know Mikal Bridges has taken a lot of hell, and I'm 100% understanding why. But when you got Josh Hart and OG Anunoby and Bridges who can defend and are switchable, they are still built to beat the Boston Celtics. Like, I don't think that either team should feel fearful of the other. Like, when you get to the playoffs, you get to the second round, and unless you're playing Oklahoma City, there's so much parity in the NBA that no one should fear anyone. Everybody should feel reasonably confident against the other, unless you're the Cleveland Cavaliers and you're just avoiding everybody. But I think these two teams, I think it's going to be a dynamite playoff matchup, and I think the Knicks, as much as hell as we give them, they should not fear the Boston Celtics under any circumstances if they have health.
Okay, so Vinny, you say neither of these two teams should fear each other. Perk, you look perturbed right now, and I know that you said that not even on Halloween should anybody be fearing the New York Knicks. What is it about them that you've seen down the stretch? Because that win against Atlanta was gritty. The win last night, despite not having Jaylen Brown in the lineup and who they're going against for the Celtics, was an important one. Why are they not a team that I guess anybody should fear here?
Well, first of all, we can't just act like Jaylen Brown not being there is just a small thing. We're talking about a guy that's in the MVP conversation. We're talking about a guy that's one of, if not the best two-way player in the game. So that's number one. Number two, last year, I had the Knicks picked to beat the Boston Celtics, right? Because they had an identity at the time. I knew who they was. I knew what they were going to bring defensively night in and night out. I don't know what this team is under the coach. This team is going to play like under the coaching of Mike Brown. I knew who they were under Tom Thibodeau. And all I've been hearing this morning since this show started is Vinny and David talk about offense. Nobody's talking about defense. Nobody's talking about the other side of the basketball. No one is talking about that. When you said defense, what you said about that defense?
I said Anunoby and Hart and Bridges match up against Brown and Tatum defensively. Yeah, I said that. Those are the two key offensive players.
Last year.
This year. You said, no. This year, too. Jason Tatum struggled in the fourth quarter because Josh Hart was on him. You saw that, Perk.
He's not. Listen. Jason Tatum he wasn't brought back this year, Vinny, to be the number one guy and be the closer. I guarantee you Jaylen Brown wouldn't have struggled last night if he was playing in that moment. And so here's the thing that I'm saying. What's going to happen when the Celtics are fully loaded and we get into the postseason and Joe Mazzulla go with that small ball lineup and you got to have Karl Anthony Towns on the floor, and all of a sudden they're putting his ass in those pick and rolls, and he got to slide those size 21s on the perimeter. What's going to happen then? Remember, the Celtics healthy, a top 5 offense in the league. The Celtics healthy, a top 5 defense. And I'm not sitting up here saying that the Knicks are not a legit threat in the Eastern Conference. I got all the confidence in the world in big body Brunson.